Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Business Growth Guide. My name is Bobby and I'm with the Local Objective. So you're probably wondering, what is this Business Growth Guide all about? So over the years, a ton of my friends, clients, and family have asked me, what are some different tools and resources and things that I can use for my business to help get to the next level? And so what I've done is I've taken all of my favorite tips, templates, guides, and over 20 plus different resources to really help you guys get your business to the next level. So let me show you guys what this growth guide is all about. So hack number 4 is really all about setting up a website. So what I'm going to do is show you guys some of my favorite ways to set up a website, some of the things I like to consider before going into designing a website, and even some of the capabilities that are necessary when we talk about what you need your website to actually do. So there's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to setting up a website, but it's super important in having these things down. Because we've already gone over the value ladder, customer avatar, and the business model, that should make setting up a website 10 times easier because we know what we're trying to sell, we know who we're trying to sell it to, and we know how we're going to sell it to them. So that's why the other modules are super helpful. If you haven't checked out the first 3 hacks, I'd highly advise that you guys go do that. But for everybody else, we're going to jump right into setting up a website. So when we talk about setting up a website, we want to consider the different capabilities necessary, right? So if you want to have an e-commerce store, if your primary goal is to sell products, right, online products and have an online store, then that is e-commerce. And we want to make sure that our website is actually designed for e-commerce because there's a ton of different essentials, things that we need to focus on, like shopping carts. You have to make sure that you have a very, very solid and user-friendly shopping cart when we talk about e-commerce. So that's important for that. If automation is a capability that's necessary for your online store or for your website, you want to make sure that your website has those capabilities. Okay, you might want to send automatic emails. You might want to make sure that you can send some automatic text messages. There's different elements to automation, but you want to make sure that each website is designed to do exactly what it is that you need to do. Pop-ups, so that's another thing that's super important. If you want to have a pop-up that pops up on your home screen that says, hey, you guys, we have this great deal, or we have 25% off, or join our mailing list, something like that. You want to make sure that pop-ups are necessary as well. Coding or embedding. So sometimes you want to make sure that you can just add a little extra code. So I'm not going to actually show you guys how to develop a website, but I'm going to show you guys how to design a website. So those are super different because developing that's where we're talking about a lot of coding and HTML and all that other JavaScript and stuff like that. But we want to actually be able to make a very simple website because 9 times out of 10, you don't need to code a website. You don't need a website that's coded from scratch. The only time you need to do that is if you're actually devising very, very specific software and stuff that is super, super necessary that can't be built. A lot of times, even some of that advanced stuff can still be built with web designing techniques. So let's jump in. So cost. Cost is another thing we want to consider. Okay, we need to look at what type of budget do we have. Okay, do we not have a budget? Do we have a small budget? Do we have a large budget? Okay, so that'll also help us in considering deadline. Another thing is deadline. So if we have say 6 months, it's going to be a lot different than if we have 1 month or 2 weeks, right? So with one of my favorite website designing softwares that I'm actually going to go into a bit more in a second, one of the most important things is that it's allows us to literally create a website within hours to days to weeks, right? So it's not going to take us 6 months to create this website. I can literally have a website up for you or for one of my clients in a matter of a week to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on what we want to do with the website and what all is going on. So that's super important. So here are some simple options. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of WordPress. WordPress is super, super popular. They're probably the most popular out of all of the different website options. But there are still some things with WordPress that I don't really like. It's not really user-friendly. It's not very simple in terms of the design. There are a few things that can get kind of become a headache a bit. So I personally don't like WordPress. My favorite is Envato, as you see here. Envato is super, super cool. So after this slide, I'm actually going to go into Envato and I'm going to show you guys how I create websites. And they actually allow you to create your website 100% for free until you're actually ready to make it live. And once you're ready to go live, then you pay something like $5 to $7 per month. So that is super, super affordable. It's super, super easy. I am a heavy advocate for Envato. This is where I build 80% of my websites. So I know that it works. It's super helpful, super quick. So the next one we're going to talk about is ClickFunnels. So this is actually my second favorite web builder. And really the difference between ClickFunnels and Envato is ClickFunnels is going to be, you can create websites on there, but it's primarily made to build landing pages and marketing pages. So as we go on, I think it's hack 6 or 7, or maybe even 5, we're going to actually start talking about marketing pages, and we're going to talk about the difference between designing something that's made to sell and something designed to inform. So 9 times out of 10, websites are designed to inform, whereas opposed to landing pages and funnels are actually designed to sell. So websites designed to inform, landing pages designed to sell. So those are the 2 biggest things. I'm going to go into, and I'm actually going to show you guys how to use ClickFunnels once we get into the marketing pages, but I'm only going to go into Envato for now. Squarespace is another one super popular you guys have probably heard of, and Wix as well, super popular, you probably heard of. Like I said before, Envato is my favorite just because it's the easiest, it's the quickest thing to use. Literally, if you have no sort of background in web design or really just with the internet, Envato is still super easy. It's drag and drop, click, boom. Like literally, I've taught my little brothers how to use this, his friends how to use this, and it just makes for super efficiency, and it's probably one of the most affordable ones. So 3 things you guys want to think about before setting up a website. You want to make sure you have your domain registered. I suggest doing it through GoDaddy or through Google. Google has their own Google websites, Google domains, and those are super affordable, super helpful, super simple. I like to use Google a lot for everything. I'm literally using Google Drive as we speak, Google Slides. Google domains are helpful, and GoDaddy are my top 2 favorite. And then when we talk about hosting, hosting is something that is a little bit tricky sometimes. So depending on where you want to use and build your website, hosting sometimes is included. So with Envato, for example, the one that I'm going to show you guys, the hosting is actually included in the actual website. So you won't have to go purchase some separate hosting thing or, deal with that whole commotion. So that's pretty cool. So email is one of the things that's super important as well. So a lot of times people think, I have a burnsbootcamp@gmail.com. Okay, well, that's not a professional email. If it's at Gmail, it's not a professional, so it's not actually going to your domain. So the best way to do it is to actually have, for example, mine is hello@thelocalobjective.com or bobby@thelocalobjective.com. Okay, so having that professional email is something that's super essential. It shows that you're doing the extra things that are necessary, the little things that are necessary to actually have a very legitimate business. So when we talk about fundamental pages, first you want to decide what is the theme of your site. Actually, with my clients, when they come on board and they say, hey, I want a website, we go through a very simple onboarding process that helps us really examine exactly what it is that we're looking for. We know exactly what it is that we want, who we're trying to sell to. As I said before, if you've done the first 3 modules, then we know what our business model looks like, so we know what we're selling. Then we know our customer avatar, we know exactly who we're selling to. And then we have our value ladder, which tells us exactly what we want to sell first. That's going to be super helpful. Getting examples from other sites you like. So I would highly recommend going around the web and just looking for other similar websites, ones that do some things that you like, some things that you don't like, and really understanding what it is that you want. How do you want people to feel when they come to your site? So this is super important as well, because colors and themes, pictures, all these different things, this different sort of content is really going to affect the way that a lead or a customer is going to feel. It's going to affect how they come. You're using blue or using red, if you're using yellow, orange. You want to make sure that each color actually gives the sort of feeling that you want, right? So you want to make sure that you're not getting too consumed in your own preferences, and you're actually taking advantage of, colors and content in particular. So how many pages do you want? So you want to understand, okay, do I want a catch page, home page, about page, blog page, contact page? Do I want a shop page? Do I want, there's all these different pages that you can have. I would suggest less is more when we talk about pages. Certain things are really helpful in terms of separating. We want to make sure we separate certain content, but also think the more pages you have, the more clutter you have. And the more clutter you have, the less likely your customers are going to get to where you want them to get. And so once again, this is why we use marketing pages, and we'll go into that as we go on. So I use things like ClickFunnels, which is actually going to allow us to create a one-page sort of website that is literally has one option, and that's to opt in. So understanding upfront how many pages we want will be super helpful. So here I'm actually going to show you guys what Envato is, what it actually looks like, and really how easy it is. I really strong advocate. So this is a website. This is actually my website that I built on Envato. Before we actually go into that, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So this is one of my clients that I'm actually working with now. I haven't even gotten started into their website yet. But as you can see, it's sort of designed like a template. It has a lot of things in place. It's awesome because you can literally input a lot of great things straight from the get-go. Say you want to change the homepage, you can literally just click on it, and then you can change the name, change that picture in the middle. You can change the amount of pages. So say you want one more up here, you want an extra link. You want to say you want a page for shopping. So you have a shop there, boom. So now you have the shop, and you want to move it so that it's actually the second thing that you see. Now it's there, right? So you want your Facebook and you want your social media links. You can literally say we don't want Twitter because we don't really have Twitter. People don't really do business on Twitter much, but if you like, you can literally do that. And so boom, it's that simple. Say you want to add in, a music player, and you want some sort of music to be playing, you can literally do that. It's a lot of cool stuff that they have, contact form, contact info. So say you want people to know exactly how to reach out to you. Food menu, footer. So this is what we would put actually at the bottom of each page. So this page already has a footer here. we can literally add a new page, add block, and say, I'm actually going to create a page for you guys real quick so you see how easy. So this is the bottom. We also want to add a top. So let's go with one of these, add block, and then in here we want to add, so we want to add some text in here. We also want to add, let's see, we want to add a picture or an image. Okay, boom, a picture and image. Let's add one more block to this. Let's go here, preview block. Boom. So as you see, that was super quick, super easy. Like it's ridiculous how helpful this is. Literally ready to change the picture. You can literally pick from any of the pictures that they have. They actually have a suite of pictures. Say you want a picture of a dog, you can literally type in dog. And another thing is they are super, super helpful. So as you see, you can click here and you can get pretty much help with anything. You get assistance with whatever it is that you're looking for. They reply super quick. I literally sent these guys probably hundreds of messages trying to get, you know, a bit of assistance as well. So like I said, they're super helpful, super friendly, and that's pretty cool. So as you see, we just added this image in here. It's a cute little dog. Say we want to add a link, we can add a link to that. So if someone clicks on this picture, it would actually take them to a specific link. Say we want this image a little bit smaller, we can literally shrink it a bit. If we want video here, we can literally add video. And just, if you have YouTube video, you can literally just copy and paste the videos in here, change the page title of the page, even add some SEO keywords in here. So if you guys want to change this, it's really that easy. So as you guys can see, Envato Sites is awesome. Super simple, super easy. It's really just about time. A lot of times when my clients need a very simple website like this that doesn't have a ton of crazy capabilities or anything wild, I literally do this for them because they want to outsource their time. They don't want to spend their time on devising something like this and actually taking the time to build and put in some of these elements. As you can see, pretty much anybody can do it, but it's a matter of, you know, your time and how much time you want to spend. And then also, as we go in more, we'll talk about marketing messaging, but we want to make sure that our copy, our communication is actually going to trigger a potential action that it is that we're looking for. So once again, after this is ready, so if you want to preview and see what it looks like, this is what it'll look like. Go back to the home. This is what the home will look like. And you can also, of course, you can change the fonts, you can change the colors, you can change just about everything. When you're ready, you hit publish, and these are actually the prices. So if you want to pay per year, it's only $36 per year, which ends up being $3 a month, or if you could pay $4 per month. So this is the one I usually go with. That way I'm on a month-to-month basis, and it just, you know, it's perfect. And there's a free plan as well, but you won't actually be able to add in your domain. So of course you want to end up with a subscription. But like I said, to start off, it's free, so I haven't actually paid on this account yet. This is a free account still, but I can literally do this entire thing. And another cool thing that they actually do, before I move on to show you some other examples, you can actually go to settings. Okay, yeah, so once you actually add on, there's actually a way to, here we go, some add-ons. So if you want to connect it to Google Analytics, you want to add in a MailChimp pop-up, which I spoke about earlier, which will pop up on whatever page and say, hey, you know, you want to be added to our mailing list, or, you know, whatever, Zendesk, if you need customer support, they're pretty cool as well. You have your subscription settings, language settings, if you want to change the language, it's really just that easy. And so let's show you, this is actually my website. So this is a website that I built for myself using Envato. This is actually my catch page. So if you come to this first page, this is all you'll see until you click on one of these buttons, and it'll take you here, local objective, growth marketing. So we talk about the who, what, and why, what it is that I do. Every campaign starts with one question. What is the objective, right? Growth or branding. Those are two very essential things. Do we want to really build on our brand and really change the game for that, or do we want to grow our customer acquisition and bring in more customers? So those are two totally different things. But as you can see, you know, you add in flavor to these websites and they look pretty nice. You know, they're really flexible. You can literally do whatever it is that you want to them, add in all sorts of different elements that are pretty cool. Like I said, if you spend a little bit more time on it, or if you have a lot of experience, you can really make these things sell a bit better. This is branding. Branding that sticks. Branding is about creating experiences that stick. So as you can see, this is what it's all about. So let's go back to our slides. So we went to that. Okay, so here are some key resources that I have. So when I go into actually designing a website, I want to make sure that one of the things that's super big is you want a fast website. The worst thing you can have is a slow website. You may as well have no website, because chances are when people come to your website, if it does not load up within, I think, the first like 3.5 seconds, 80% of the people of web users are going to leave. They're going to say, oh, forget this, right? I was actually on my phone the other day trying to get on someone's website, and it took way too long to load. I was like, forget it. I don't even want it that bad. You will lose customers if your website's not fast. So one, Envato is very helpful in terms of the speed because of the way that it's designed. But also, you want to make sure that your images aren't too large. Okay, so if you have 5 MB images, then it's actually going to change the way that the speed of your website. So that's super big. So you want to use things like Tiny PNG. Tiny PNG will actually allow you to condense your images and actually get a lot more resolution out of less space. So that's super big. Any large images, I'd highly suggest you condense them. We have graphic and web templates and themes. So Envato has a market where you can actually get a ton of like different graphics and web templates and themes and a bunch of other cool stuff as well. I'd highly suggest checking out that. And then PDF editor compressor. So if you have PDFs that you want to shrink, or if you want to edit them, this is a cool resource. Mockups. If you want to actually put one of your images on a mockup, say you want it to look like you're watching it. So you have a TV. Say you have an image that you want to show up on an image of someone watching TV, right? And so it looks like they're watching your image or whatever it is that you have. So those are mockups. You can go to Smart Mockups. They have a ton of free ones there. Free high quality images. Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay have a ton of high quality images that are pretty cool. And then Google Speed. So as I was talking about before, with the images being shrink and the speed of your website and stuff like that, you can actually go here to developers.google.com/all this stuff, and you can actually check the speed of your website. So let's actually run through that really quickly. So this is actually going to show you guys what the speed of your website is actually looking like. So obviously you can click on it and try to just sit there and watch, but realistically different people have different speeds. They have 3G, 4G, you have Wi-Fi, but then also depending on the location that you're in, that's going to affect the speed, but also the device that you're on is going to affect the speed, as well as if you've been to the website before. So obviously if it's your website, you've probably been to the website 10,000 times, and it's going to load a lot quicker than it would for someone who's never been to your website. So this will actually help us analyze our website and see exactly what is going on our website. So I've been graded 88 out of 100. This is pretty good. Most people don't get over 90, but some people do as well. So I would highly suggest you guys go ahead and check this out. This will give you a lot of information, a lot of details. It'll show you where some of the issues are, what good things are, properly sized images. So this is Page Speed Insights by Google. I'd highly suggest you guys check that out. Once again, all of these resources are available to you guys. If you click the link below, I'll actually add in all of these resources into this growth guide, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Once again, please subscribe and share. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying to get as much value out to the people as possible. So next up, we have hack number 5, marketing messaging. You guys are really going to love this. This is where we actually talk about how to communicate with our customers and what things actually change the game and make the mind tick. Awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you guys in the next video.